Okay. Anyway.
Okay, Survey, join. Actually, Revolution Case, can you? I keep calling it Revolution Case. Animation Gaming. Can you stream for Survey so that Pika can record the feedback and you can both see what people are talking about? Nice. Okay, Olaf TW on CT side, give me feedback. Try to be brief. There's quite a lot of things to go over, but all around, the fundamental issue right now in the level is that this area over here is controlled by the terrorists. It means that the Ts can rotate between both of the entrances of the bomb site, and that will make a dynamic where CTs will have to hold here in the choke points, and they are at the terrorists' mercy to rotate outside the bomb sites. If the timings were a little bit better so that the CTs could push into these areas so that the actual choke point was here, and here, and here, then that wouldn't be an issue. But right now, as it stands, it's a big issue that makes the gameplay just very frustrating as a CT. I found our team on CT side lacking quite a lot of utility. Our players didn't understand that you have to molly this, 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 and you have to molly this to be able to push down the terrorists' line of defense or line of attack in this regard. So that made the gameplay like just very frustrating, that you have to hold like this kind of corner or this kind of corner, this kind of corner. These are fine, but when it's literally the whole gameplay, it's lacking quite a lot of depth. It's just like, you know. Then we have B-bomb side, which is clusterfuck of headshot angles. Terrorists can boost to all sorts of little things like this to you know, shoot over everything. I honestly think that the CT timings is the biggest issue. So having the CT start like over here, even over here, would mean that the CTs can make it to all the choke points before the Ts. There was a round on A site where I went here, I picked this, and a terrorist jumped over there. I was like, what the fuck? That's not probably supposed to happen. But the changes that you made before the playtest from the first version, going down from 7 choke points to 5, it's a good change, but we have to go from 5 to at least 4, preferably 3 for this, and this middle area has to be under CT control. That way, the terrorists will have to gain control in the map to be able to juke out bomb site takes and then cause a rotation around the CT spawn area over here, and that will add depth, and actually then players will find their time invested in the map valuable, since there's strategic depth, and that will make the map competitive. That's all my feedback. I had fun. As a CT, I didn't want to play the map.
Can I go next?
Barry? Well, maybe Silver Day next, since he asked.
Oh yeah.
Alright. So
Previously.
for some feedback of my own, I feel like I actually had this similar issue with my map Borlanga, where the map is very aesthetically pleasing, but it's also very busy, very noisy, and there's a lot of like stuff in the way at, like, you know, player level, which makes it really, really distracting when you're trying to, like, you know, play the actual map. Like for example, take like B, where I think Olaf already pointed out, you have these trash, you have this car and stuff like that. It was really like kind of like messy, like really, really messy, like shapes. And it just didn't feel good to play around. Like I think it actually led to an issue that when I was coming to B here, I was clearing the site, and I actually just legitimately just like, I came up from like short or something, I cleared here, and I was like, okay, I think I'm done or something, and then I just get shot from somewhere I don't even know because I just can't see him. He's blending in with all of the surrounding materials, and it really doesn't, and it really leads for like really unfun gameplay. For B feels very claustrophobic, like extremely claustrophobic. It does with B, for like the main actual parts of B, it feels like you've gotten a part of I think you've gotten this part's got like a problem known as like corridor syndrome, where every area just kind of feels like a corridor, like just a corridor leading to another corridor. It doesn't feel like an actual place that you know be. Which obviously aesthetically that, I mean, you can make it work, but for gameplay wise, this doesn't work. This doesn't work for Counter-Strike at all. What it just leads to is that A becomes very shotgun heavy. You just rush. You basically just take this area and you play angles with shotguns. That's it. There's no like if you try to pick like a rifle or even a sniper here, you kind of just get, your options are very limited. Another issue I think people were having with the map, from what I was hearing from my side, is that there was many doors that look like they should lead to somewhere very substantial, but they don't. And it really, it gives that false sense of like, yeah, I can go here, but in reality I can't. Details should be added to augment the gameplay, not, distract or take away from it. Areas like these just don't fly in like Counter-Strike, where it looks like I can go here, but I actually can't. Oh, I can definitely go here, but I can't. It even looks like, oh yeah, this would actually be a substantial entrance or something. This kind of like mechanics and stuff like that, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work in Counter-Strike, and it really just like brings down the experience. That with the claustrophobia and the fact that like a lot of these shapes on the sides, like all the cover, like the shapes are so like diverse and you can blend in with it, just leads to unfun gameplay. Yeah, that's my feedback. Hello?
Next person.
Yeah.
I can maybe give some feedback.
Oh.
I'm Shady on CT. I don't have a lot of feedback. I think that overall played fine, but some angles were kind of weird. Like how you can peek this from here. This whole like area, it felt a bit too high to me. This jump is... It looks easy, but I failed it like 7 times because this thing. And then you do 2 crouch jumps. Also, you can kind of like move around there. There's a lot of spots where it looks like you can jump, but it's clipped off, like here. Why is it okay to have this kind of angle, but not stand up here in the open? Same goes for like not being able to go on the truck here. Like, why? I think this site needs a bit better, like a bit more of a clear indication on where to plant, because that's all what I heard in my team. Where do I plant? When I first came to the site, I thought this was a position. I don't know why I thought of it, but it looks like he can jump over here, so maybe make this a bit higher. On B, there's like, you can look under the car here. I would put like a black brush under there. Otherwise, I think one of these paths can be just created into one. I don't think you need 2 here. Holding this main is very... It's very weird to hold. Yeah, that's my feedback.
Right.
I did have a fun time on it though, so...
Here, I'll go next. Barry on T side? Do we start T side? I think overall I enjoyed the map, but there were definitely some weirdnesses. I say some. There are a lot of fucking weird things about this map, but I find it kind of endearing. I'm not gonna focus on any of the fundamental shit that's already been covered. I think Olaf's point was good on it. Silverty also mentioned it, but I'll kind of reinforce the point. The prop spam is a lot, and it's a lot in a lot of places, especially like key areas. And there's something very serious to be said about keeping pathways clean, especially pathways that are like high contact and high action and shit like that. That should be left clean. Like, for example, A main, there are tons of props you can get caught on. This one's kind of weird for no real reason. This box right here doesn't actually serve as any cover. It never gets used as any cover, but it sure does block off half the hallway, like, which is just super not necessary. There are a solid few spots like that should really kind of change, probably. Like this cover right here, it's nice to be able to peek back sight with this little kind of like headshot cover here, but it's not good cover. It's super soft, and it just blocks off the pathway. It just kind of like makes the map hard to traverse, which is not fun, right? Like nobody enjoys getting caught on random bullshit. And there's just a lot of stuff happening visually in places that it just doesn't really like need to. Also, I feel like this self boost jump here that I can't seem to land very often could probably be simplified just a little bit to make it a little easier to traverse. Also, back in T-spawn, or I guess like T whatever you'd call it, going up to B, there are some angles here that you can jump on top of these like boxes and look into main. This, I got human juice box with this like 2 or 3 times on T side, and although it was funny for me, I'm very sure that it wasn't very fun for human juice box. I can guarantee you I would put money down on that. Yeah, exactly. And so I really think angles like that should not exist in general. Also, this jump pathway onto B site is a bit of a nightmare. It's a bit of a nightmare. It's real bad. Max, like in a low traffic area, not in like a choke point, in a low traffic area, like 2 to 3 jumps max is like acceptable. And I would just kind of avoid that altogether. It's very slow, not fun to push up into. Yeah, just kind of frustrating. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I would change out this central cover. This car is okay, but you can see through it. And I feel like it could be cleaner with a different prop. So that's kind of, yeah, neither here nor there. Also, quickly, this squeaky door, like, it is, like, this is not fun. It's just not fun to play through. It's very frustrating. I feel like I would prefer this area be wider. Like, take this whole chunk of wall out and make it wider. Maybe add a little bit of cover back here and then turn it into like a double door. Yeah, and that. Yeah, I don't know. That's just like not amazing. A site, like, the biggest thing you should bring to A site is like a rifle. It's so condensed, and the squeaky door just makes that problem worse. I would kind of avoid that. And also, avoid using like prop cover like this, the toolbox is frustrating to play around. Kind of always has been. All the way back when it was, you know, on Vertigo and shit. I would avoid using stuff like that. Also, a quick statement, and I'll wrap up. When placing props, like, use logic, if that makes sense. Like, even in a construction zone, would a construction company leave wooden crates like everywhere? Like, especially in this big area that looks like it's already finished, right? Like, they've already got like signs and flags and trash cans and all that stuff out. So why are there so many like wooden crates? I kind of get like plastic crates and stuff like that, like Pelican cases and shit like that, but it doesn't really make any sense. And so like overusing a certain kind of prop, just kind of like, I don't know, like reduces the like effectiveness of an area. Also, this stuff has like no reason to exist. More pathway blocking type stuff. Yeah, don't place unnecessary props. Detail an area to meet a certain aesthetic. You can do that with a lot less visual noise than you think. So I will shut the fuck up now and hand it off to the next person. Thanks for hosting.
Okay, I wanna say feedback from the on T side, like Snow Leopard on Avatar. Okay, you look. Okay. Hello, Gordon from. For first, maybe I'm little bit enjoyed of this map, but I'm very tired for playing because it's very corridorly and I don't know, and it's very messy. If you have some like entry on site, city need hold the sentries, but from here it's like feel like some shortcut or something else, like not for many people's entries, and that bad because I don't know, it's feel uncomfortable because most prefer weapon from here it's P90 and shotguns, and that work. And I think and that not fun because gameplay every time just same. Maybe make another. And actually maybe most best plan of game on A side. From here it's just mauling from here and just rushing 2-3 people from here. Because if someone entry from here, he just picking for many peoples and just fucked up. I think you can fix map, but it would very hard, and actually map finish it. Maybe just yeah. Maybe next project make, but from here, if you would make, you need to make every pause from here more bigger and make not so open for city. City need to have some advantage from here, because if you're playing from here, it's only like headshot angle or just stacking position, like 3 people from here. It's only work how hold this side. I didn't play on B side because I feel on A side need more playing because it's more easily to get for a terrorist, maybe, because you just no, it's actually I think more easily, and from here it's have some issues from here. If you like hold this or not hold, pick this position, you just have 1, 2 it's very tight and many not feel comfortable. From here, I don't like maybe this headshot angle. It's here. No, it's maybe from here. And don't like maybe very many need jump for going to here. If you have some main entries, house, only you have noise.
Ollie, mute yourself.
Oh, sorry.
You just need to make maybe not very like okay, just for understanding. If you going every round from here, you just need jump, 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 and it feel bad. Need make if you know about from here, it's okay because it's like I don't know, because you're not actually every round going to here and would use this, but it's maybe the same because it's need make many stage for going. I know it's not KZ map, just make not make so parkour. And maybe from here too, because if just running from T-spawn, you just need jump, jump, jump. And actually I don't like this entry because if you like going to here, it's not very comfortable and like you need mouse like, and you just go into here and you just need a switch like this and go and pick up maybe working of flow maybe or something else. And I don't like also this because city have right angle from here and someone going to for first from here, he just dying. If you have some left pick on map, you just need some utilities throwing because city obviously have advantage from here, and you just fucked up from here. Maybe make some window from here or yeah. This door, it's very long angle. I don't like it. I don't like it, also this type boost. Like it's maybe not. Yeah, it's fish because just have from here and it's, I don't know. It feel give very many information for TT. And also this boost. Yeah, make maybe map maybe general feedback of map make more wide because it's not comfortable going. Because every pause feel like shortcut, not like general pause, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's all.
Thank you.
Can I go next, or is someone planned?
You can go.
Okay. Just a question, map makers, are you French by any chance?
They are.
Yes,
Oh, I can speak in French if you want, if it's easier for you.
I can do some English.
Okay.
Feedback should be in English, so.
It shouldn't be if the map maker speaks the other language, I guess.
It's
but-
fine. I want to hear Ali say speak in French.
Okay, I can
would
speak in
hear
French.
Ali speak in French too.
Okay, go.
Non, du coup, j'ai reconnu Sifan et Boblenon, mais voilà. Non, en fait, en vrai, j'aime bien la map. Je pense que le plus gros problème que j'avais, c'est qu'il y a plusieurs endroits en fait, qui ont l'impression d'être. Par exemple, ici, je pensais que c'était genre un cubby, genre un point encore pour se cacher, mais en fait, il y a un chemin. Et il y a plein d'endroits en fait, comme ça à travers un peu toute la map. Il y a aussi plusieurs endroits où je pensais qu'il y avait une sortie alors qu'il n'y en a pas, et donc j'ai smoke. Je crois que c'était ici sur le mid. Oui, je pensais, voilà, en fait, je voulais smoke. Genre, en regardant le radar, je sais qu'il y a un chemin qui part, et je venais d'ici, et donc j'ai cru que c'était là, en fait, et j'ai mis ma smoke ici, du coup, mais c'est déjà bloqué. Il y a plein un peu d'endroits comme ça qui, je pense, avant étaient des chemins et ont été rebouchés, etc. Et du coup, c'est assez perturbant à travers un peu toute la map de pas trop savoir ce qui est en chemin, ce qui l'est pas, par exemple, pareil ici. Et donc, je pense que c'est plus au niveau du detailing qu'il faut un peu... entre guillemets, je vais revoir la map, mais... entre guillemets, ouais, améliorer pour que ce soit un peu plus clair quoi et quoi, exactement. Aussi au niveau du clipping, il y a des trucs... Par exemple ici, je savais pas du tout en fait qu'on pouvait rester sur le muret. Donc je savais même pas en fait qu'on pouvait venir d'ici à là. Et donc à chaque fois je faisais le tour comme ça. Et ici, genre, je crois que ces clips là, du coup c'est un peu dur des fois de faire le jump, mais ça c'est juste parce que je suis pas très doué. Mais sinon en vrai la map était bien, j'ai bien aimé. Juste au niveau du detailing c'est un peu rempli à certains endroits et du coup c'est un peu dur de, on va dire, lire la map, mais voilà. Ok, I'm done. I don't know who wanna go next.
I can go next.
Yeah, human juice box.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm kind of just going to restate like pretty much what other people said. The map as it is, like, I would not play comp on this. Like, if I had to play comp on this, I would definitely just like rage quit halfway through. The big thing is just the visual clutter. You have a lot of like random props, and like in some areas like a lot of like really detailed textures. If you look like a lot of CS:GO maps, they don't really do a whole lot of that, and for a good reason. One, for performance, but also just mainly it's like it's just kind of a headache to look at. It's really difficult to see like what is the playable area. Like I had a big problem with that in this map, is that like a lot of the stuff looked like it was playable area. Just because it was so visually cluttered. Like I thought one round I could go over here and I was like trying to jump up on the box and just wasted 5 seconds in the beginning of the round. Another round I thought like this was it, so I was like trying to be like, and I was like, oh no, that's not it. You know, over here, like a lot of these places, it looks like they're playable area, but they're not. And it's just kind of really confusing. Obviously, as people play your map, they'll understand like what is or isn't, but you also have to be mindful of like newer players. But also, it's like a lot of people don't really play in CT spawn, and sometimes they will. And if they're used to the rest of the map, then eventually it's just gonna be really confusing over there for them. Yes, that was just really confusing. There's a lot of like really like restrictive choke points, like over here on A. I mean, like pretty much all the map. It's pretty much just like utility it out and then just wait. A lot of the map just felt a lot of the same. It really just feels like a lot of really tight corridors, and the only difference between them is like how close they are to the site and like how long the corridor is. It just didn't feel too interesting in that aspect, especially over here on A. But somehow this works better for T's. I don't really get it, which is really weird. Another thing to follow up with that is that A site is just really shotgun heavy. It's okay for, you know, shotguns to be viable, and like SMGs too to be viable on a site, and one site to lean more towards that gameplay, but it was like they were dominant. Like, you don't want shotguns to be dominant because they're so cheap and they're not really fun gameplay. But you literally just take an XM or Max 7, you just like spam over here. It's just not too fun to do that. What else did I write down? Oh yeah, it feels like there's not really many like good positions to hold as a CT. Both on either site, but just like everywhere on the map, it just doesn't feel like there's really anywhere for you to hold as CT. At A site, it's just like kind of find a piece of cover and just like hope they don't see you, and you see them before they see you. This really doesn't help with the visual clutter, but on like, you know, B site, it's like it's really awkward to hold this, especially because they can see you from down here and come up this angle. It's just really weird. You don't feel like you can hold this. You also don't feel like you can hold either of these angles because it's like, well, I mean, mainly over here, it's just like it's split up in really awkward cover and you're on a staircase. But then also it's like they can see you from all the way back here boosting on the boxes and stuff. This staircase in general, it's like you don't want to go down here as CT because you're just so exposed going up this staircase from everywhere. It felt like really difficult to push up here as CT. Oh yeah, the other thing I was want to say is like on the site, you don't really feel like you can hold the site. There's really nowhere. Like it feels like you're supposed to hold back here the site, and have like another person up here, but it doesn't really feel like you could do that because it's so tight. The only way to escape over here is just to drop down, which you might take damage. Definitely going to make an audible noise. Leaves you exposed. It just doesn't feel like you could hold over here because you're so far back. It doesn't feel like there's anywhere to hold. There's just some really odd angles in some places, like I was saying over here. This just feels really odd. You just feel really exposed running through here. As either team, you just feel really exposed running through here. The fact that you can see this long of an angle, like maybe it kind of works gameplay-wise, but to fight that just isn't fun. Over here, it's just like a mess of angles. Like there's just so many angles, it's not fun to play. Yeah, it's pretty much all my negative criticism. I do feel like there is potential with this map, though. It definitely needs a lot of work, and I think you guys just, like, forget about visuals, just take it, like, all the way back to gray box. You know, keep some, like, landmark pieces in or something so people can differentiate the areas. But I did really like the concepts of B. You know, the staircase in here, I feel like that could work. It'd be really weird. I did see what you were going for over here, holding over here, you know, it did kind of make sense. It was your best option on the site, it just feels like it needs to be executed better. I felt like holding up here as CT, like, it was cool that if someone was coming up site, you could be like fighting them and then jump up here, jump down. Or if you were over here, you know, fight someone, you feel like you need to get a different angle to jump down. It does feel like there are good concepts, especially on B. And that could end up being like really interesting. But at the moment, like I said, I would not want to play this in comp. You know, like in a 10v10 casual, like this reminds me a lot of CSS maps from back in the day. Like I would love to play this in a 10v10 casual. It looks beautiful and it's just like kind of a little wacky. But it really needs a lot more work before I would ever want to see it like in comp. But I like where you're going with it. I think there's potential. Yeah. That's it.
Cheers. Is that everyone then?
I have some feedback.
Is what?
Was that all the players, I guess? Pika, do you have any feedback? Okay.
Something.
Okay,
30 minutes
so,
late, by the way.
okay, so Pika on terrorist side, aka Legomanas. That's how you pronounce it. The only thing I'm gonna say is, toolboxes, there are too many of them. They belong in Vertigo, the old version, not this one. Remove all of them, change them. This one too. Let's count them all. 1, 2. Where are they? I know I saw one. Yeah, see, there's 3. I swear there were more. Where are they? Anyways, remove all of them. I don't like them. That's all.
Well, thank you. So everybody did like give their feedback, right?
Yes.
Yeah.